What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and today I'm going to show you guys what happens when you make small changes to your run that can increase your damage tenfold. And we're going to be doing with our man Iori. Now, quickly, I'll just show you guys the build on Iori. I've already shown this thing before, but I feel it's only fair just to show it. He's pretty much maxed out, guys. He's 8-9. He has all max stones. We're going to be using the Rugal set with these two cards that have transcended stats for an attack type fighter. And as far as plugins, we have these three plugins. We've already shown those things before, but I want to take a look at Cosme. Now, something about Cosme, guys, that's really interesting is the way that her buffs work. So whenever you tag out, you're going to get increased attack of all teammates by 100%. So 20 seconds is a long time whenever you're tagging out. Gives you plenty of time to get it done. However, whenever you grant Water Storm effect to all teammates, including yourself, for 12 seconds upon using an active skill, for each Water Storm effect, increases critical rate and critical damage, guys. And these are massive buffs. 48% extra critical damage and 8% extra critical rate when you have 4 stacks of Watermark, which means, or Water Storm, which means you need to do 4 hits from Cosme in order to apply this, all right? But it's for 12 seconds, okay? In the first run that you guys are going to watch, this is going to be really, really important, okay? Now, when it comes to her, you always want to use your second skill first to increase target damage received, and then you can just use your first skill over and over and over to apply the 4 marks. Remember, you just got to hit your target 4 times to apply your buffs, or I'd do like me, just go 2, 3, which is 2 skills, and then hold 1 down, and you'll be good to go and apply some chill. And Chizuru doesn't have that problem at all. When it comes to Chizuru's kit, her buffs last a long time. She increased attack by 100% for 20 seconds whenever you land Starlight on enemy, which is very, very important for her buffs, because in order to land Starlight, you have to use the first skill. So you always want to use the first skill with Chizuru, plus you can increase your strike skill damage as well by 40% for 15 seconds, and you want to make sure that you use the second skill, so you increase the blast skill damage by 60% for 15 seconds. Now, the way that I'm playing this team, Chizuru is the last character, and 15 seconds is a long amount of time, guys, to get it done. The third skill doesn't really add anything as far as buffs, so really just doing the 2 and the 1 is all good. And as far as cards, guys, you could run, like, seriously, you could run a Serena. I don't even think I'm running anything on Chizuru, but you could run a Serena set. Is this set right here. I passed it up a second ago. This set right here will give you plenty of PG to where you can do your 3 PG fast enough. So we got Shanae for a striker for Iori because he's an excellent striker. You guys can see the buffs here. We got the decreased skill cooldown by 1 second, the burn and chill, increased attack. Very, very nice. And then we have Angel here. Oh, I didn't mean to click on that. We have Angel here to apply a little poison, right? She applies a poison to all enemies on the screen. She doesn't have to hit them at all when she drops in, so that's really nice. And then we have Kusanagi, who actually adds a decrease or apply Fertile Flame enemies for 10 seconds, but he decreases defenses by 30%. And this really adds a lot of buff, but it's only for 10 seconds, okay? It's only for 10 seconds, and Cosme is only for 12 seconds. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to pull up the first run for you guys, and you can see what kind of damage we were actually able to get it done with, all right? So I'll just explain what I'm doing here a little, and we'll go from there. So I just start with the Iori, guys. Just want to do my 3 PG as fast as possible, and then we're going to go ahead and switch to Cosme. Now, something I want you to pay attention to in this run is that I will not be applying dots from Iori once I switch to Cosme, right? I don't use Iori's skills at all after his 3 PG, and then I just bring in Cosme, bring up her skills, make sure I use the first skill to apply chill, right? Because any dot's going to break that meter down, but bleed and poison against Rugal is always going to be the best. Now I'm going to apply my poison from Angel, or Angel, sorry, and then I'll bring in Chizuru and bring in Kazumi. Now, I want you to pay attention, guys, at how long I'm spending here, how much time I'm killing while those buffs from Kazumi and Kusanagi are going on. They're pretty much gone by the time I get to using my concentrate. Okay, and if you looked at the damage that I just did in that first rotation, that first time I used my concentration, you're going to see it's a good score. But believe me, in the second run, I mean 720 billion in the second run, guys, it's going to be way more astronomical, right? And for some reason, when I was doing this run, I wanted to try to use that default to try to help break that meter down, because I'm only using one specific dot in Angel. I don't have any bleed. I'm not using any bleed at all. So I'm trying to get, I'm trying to use this default to break it. But if you notice, we're just killing so much time, right? I can't cancel out a skill, going into my skills. You want to be able to use your concentrate or your main damage dealer as soon as possible. Whatever it is that they do the most damage with. And in Iori's case, that's his first skill from concentrate. you want to make sure that your opponent, Rugal or Geese, is stunned at the moment that you bring them in. So because that's not exactly happening right here, we're actually losing that decreased defenses by 30%, and we're losing that critical rate and critical damage from Kazami's water passive, right? I'm just gonna say water passive, but you get what I mean, right? We're losing that. Now I'm gonna let you guys watch the rest of this run, and once at the end we'll talk about the score, and I'll talk about what we're gonna be doing in the next run to increase the score dramatically. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, so you guys saw that, you heard that. We got 9.7 trillion by using that method. Now, if we go a little bit further and we go into the next run, you're going to see a pretty wild difference. The exact same team, exact same cards. Nothing is different at all except for how I'm actually going to play it. So again, just like the first run, we're going to start off with the Iori. We're going to do his 3PG, but what you're going to notice is I'm going to use my dots before I switch to Cosme. Notice that I used my first and second skill, and then I switched to Cosme. When I applied that burn and that darkness from Iori, you can see it right here in the background there. It actually is eating away at that meter a lot faster, which means there's going to be a lot less meter by the time I bring Iori in. All right? So we applied Angel's Poison. We applied, and look at this. Boom! Right? And we can just go straight into our skill. And look at the damage, guys. Look at the damage. Okay? Look at the damage! 3.3 trillion when I paused it right here. It was like 700 billion in one rotation in the last run. So you can already see that there's going to be a massive difference in these two runs, man. It's going to be crazy. So that's really the big difference is I'll apply Dot with Iori before I use Cosme to help break that meter down a little bit faster. Oh yeah. And I will do my default, but you're going to notice that in the first run I did my default after, like when I first brought in Iori, then I do my default. But now what's going to happen is I'll do my default before I bring in Cosme. So it's after Rugal does the explosion. The only I just want the explosion to be done on Iori at all times because he can take it, man, no problem. Look at the damage, guys. Just absolutely nuts. That is the difference this makes. I haven't changed anything except for the way that I'm playing this. And this is what I was saying earlier, is that it's all about timing. It's all about getting your stun, bringing your damage dealer in at the very moment that your opponent is stunned at Rugal or Geese in these guild raids to do the most damage and make sure that all these buffs are being applied for the full duration of your damage dealer's skills being laid out on the opponent. Right? And that's why you're seeing so much more damage. All of Cosme's buffs and pretty much all of Kusunagi's buffs are being applied the entire time while I'm using my concentrate. And that's why you're seeing, I mean, guys, 8.8 trillion already. We're not even a minute into this thing. 8.8 trillion. I mean, it's a pretty stark difference. It's pretty wild. I mean, this is crazy. Like, not even 45 seconds in and we already got that score? Like, wow. Like, it really, and it just goes to show you guys, sometimes if you watch a video, maybe, and then this includes me, maybe it won't be the best score. Maybe it could be a lot better on that same account if they would just play a little bit different, use different teams, different strikers, whatever the case may be. Time things a little bit better, right? Right? I mean, whenever I improve my scores, it's when I come in here and I practice and I start playing with it a little bit, and you guys can see it's just, I mean, 12 trillion, 53 seconds into this fight. 12 trillion. And something else to keep in mind is that the first run actually lasted longer than this run. That's right. Which is even crazier. So we're going to do more damage in less time in the second run. But you see me apply my dot and then Cosme. Right? That's the big difference I'm doing. I'm applying dot with Iori before I switch Cosme. And then after I use Iori as a damage dealer after all the buffs are applied, then I'll just go ahead and use his default and then Rugal will blow up on Iori. I mean, it really doesn't matter. You can blow up on Cosme too, to be honest. He's got a lot of immunity core and all that good stuff. But, I mean, yeah. So, guys, I'm going to leave you to watch the rest of this run. Get ready because it's going to be pretty astronomical, as you guys can tell. And we'll talk about it when it ends. See you guys in a little bit. right, so you guys saw that, man. We got 26 trillion, over 2 times the damage that we did in the first run. That is the difference that it makes whenever you change your gameplay. Maybe if you're playing dots at a different time, that's the difference. That is insane, isn't it? To see that kind of difference in damage just by changing your gameplay, just by, you know, doing things a little bit differently than maybe what you would normally do, maybe for some of you out there. And it just goes to show you guys that, you know, practice makes perfect, man. Always trying to figure out the right ways to do things. But I thought it was a really interesting video to share with you guys, to show you the difference in gameplay that it makes as far as how much damage you actually do, even with the same team, the same cards. Everything's exactly the same in both runs, except them little tweaks that I made in the second run versus the first run that got me all that extra damage. So guys, let me know what you think about these 2 little runs. And I do stream on Twitch and YouTube. The link to Twitch is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody. Take care.